What is up, guys? My name is Camden and this is my 1991 Mazda Miata, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 mods that anyone should do to their NA Miata, or probably NB Miata as well, for if they want to go to the track on the weekends or anything like that. And so let's get into it. Now, these are not in order, these are just the first 5 things you should do depending on what track you're going to or what how much you drive the car. So order doesn't really matter. So first things first, under the hood is a turbo kit. Just kidding. Alright, so first thing we're going to talk about is the suspension. So there's a lot you can do with the suspension, but first, I don't know, you'd probably want to get some coilovers. So coilovers would probably be the best thing that you could get for the suspension. First off, you could go with shocks and springs. However, if you have the money, I'd go with coilovers, much more adjustment, and there's so many out there that you could get, all types of price ranges. So I'd go with that. You can go from BC, Fortunato, KW, any of those. Coilovers are first, along with any other sort of adjustable suspension down the road if you want to get some adjustable control arms, some braces, that sort of thing. But coilovers would be first for suspension. So we're still down low on the car here, but this time we're going to talk about wheels and tires. So these are not stock, obviously, but they're not my favorite. I'd like to get some new ones in the future. However, for anyone that does still have their stock Miata wheels, you probably want to go to something bigger. I think 15-inch wheels look the best on these cars. And you also want to get a wider wheel as well. It gives a wider tire, more contact patch with the pavement, gives you more grip around the track, and some nice summer or performance tires as well is the way to go. So on the outside of the car, I'd like to give an honorable mention to the exhaust. So exhaust obviously is not essential. It won't add much power to these cars. They don't have much power from the factory. However, it is just cool to have a nice sounding car. So down the road, if you'd like to get an exhaust, go for it. But it probably wouldn't be one of the first things you'd want to get if you are really interested in having the best track car possible. But having a nice sounding car is pretty good. So for the next couple, we'll be going inside the car. First off, for a lot of tracks or autocross courses, safety is of utmost importance, probably for every single one. And with roadsters, they're kind of dangerous. You can just fly out of the car. If you roll over, there's not much protection. So rollover protection is almost 100% required at certain road courses for sure, and a lot of autocross places won't let you compete unless you have rollover protection in your convertible. So if you'd want to take it to the track sometimes, you're going to need a roll bar. Put it right back here. For Miatas, I think the way to go is the hard dog roll bar. I'm not sure if there's any others out there, but I do know that one. I definitely want to get the double diagonal hard dog roll bar in the future. So we're still in the car for the next one. And first off, it has to do with your seating position and how you connect with the car. So with the steering wheel here, the stock steering wheel isn't that good. It's pretty big, pretty bulky, pretty thin. I don't particularly like it. It doesn't look good either. So any aftermarket steering wheel that you can control the car really well with, and you just have a good feel for it and a good connection with it, I think that's the way to go. Get you a nice steering wheel. I have a Sparco Champion here. I love the look of it. That was the main reason I got it, to be honest. The red here and the red here. But that's besides the point. Next is seats. These seats, they keep you in pretty well, a lot better than I thought they would. Bolstering is pretty nice in these still. However, you'd probably want something a little more safe. So some nice racing seats to keep you in place, as well as put the harnesses through the holes in the back. A lot of tracks require some nice seat belts as well. So seats, whether they be Recaro, Sparco, Corbo, whatever you fit in, whatever fits with the car is the way to go. Brands, as long as it's certified, who cares, honestly. So get you a nice set of racing seats and you should be on your way. So we're down here again for the next one. And this may not necessarily be a mod, or it may just be maintenance. Doesn't matter. However, it is very important to talk about the brakes. The brakes are what keeps you alive. They keep the car under control when you need to stop. They make the car stop. And they just, you know, they keep you in line. And the stock brakes, I've heard they wear a bit on the racetrack pretty quickly, so you may want to get some upgraded brake pads, maybe some street pads, some street track pads, something like that. You don't need to go too aggressive because if you're driving on the street, then that won't work well. Lots of squeaking and probably too aggressive for just driving around. But some nice hybrid street track pads will serve you very well at the track, and also very important, they keep you alive. So get you some good brakes. You don't need to go upgraded Brembo big brake kit that fast. You just need some good pads, and that should be good. Those are the top 5 physical things that you can do to your car that I think would make the biggest difference if you wanted to just do some weekend warrior stuff on the track. However, there is one more honorable mention that I want to talk about, and that is what they call the driver mod. You yourself are obviously the biggest difference you can make when you go around the course or in any sort of spirited driving. Practice is definitely king. Practice is what makes you perfect, and practice is what you need to get better. Putting on some nicer coilovers or some stickier tires may make you go fractionally faster, but your skill, the skill that you have on your own is what's going to make the biggest difference. So just go out and practice, take some driver's courses. I would love to do some driver's courses in the future. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and I think would make a huge difference in my driving myself. So definitely stick to that. I hope you've liked the video. These are some very important things, some very good things that you can do to the car to make it a huge difference, just a monster up in the mountains or on a course. And anyway, I hope you liked it. Comment maybe, give it a subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you in the next one.